Hey, and welcome to Smart Impressions. I'm Rachel, and I'm so excited you're here. If you have been wondering, where am I going to find someone amazing, professional, and dynamite to represent my brand? Who can I trust? You are going to love this show today. We're talking about from presence to performance and why not all event staff drive results. I got no other than Lonnie Page from Lonnie Page Consulting from Miami Beach on the show with me. Lonnie, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, Rachel. This is so great.
I'm so glad you're here because we've known each other forever, literally, since we were born.
That is true, since we were born, correct.
Which is incredible because I love that we're like reconnecting. You and I have been doing similar stuff, and now with your 20 years of staffing and production experience, you are killing it in the event space when brands need people to go out and represent their brand. So I want to talk all about that. You are dealing with a lot of different logos. What kind of activities are you finding are really like some of the biggest brands where event staff is so important for them to really present themselves into the public eye?
I mean, really, I think the brand ambassadors and the staff that you have at your event make or break the event. You need to have the right people with the right energy out there supporting. If you're just one person out there, you can't talk to everybody. You need people that are knowledgeable and that are really going to engage with all of your consumers and carry on conversations as an extension of you.
That's no doubt. I mean, this is the most important thing. But when clients come to you, what do they typically always have an idea of what they want, but what do they actually really need to succeed at these events, these engagements, these brand ambassador parties or sponsorships, whatever it may be? What is the true knowledge that you bring and let them know of this is how it's going to be successful?
Well, I think that they're under the impression that as long as they just have a warm body there, it's going to work out for them. And if it's a pretty face, it will. And that's actually not the case at all. They really need somebody who is going to represent their brand in the correct way. They're an extension of the brand, right? So they need to be educated. They need to speak on the brands. They need to show up on time. They need to be professional, not eating, not chewing gum, just like all these little things that I've been really aware of. I mean, I started as a brand ambassador when I was 19 years old for liquor companies. And you realize how much these companies depend on you to be professional and to help get their message across and really just help them with everything that's going on at the show and be a really big team player. If there's something on the floor, pick it up. If there's someone that's, asking questions, find out the answer. If you don't know the answer, say no problem. Give me one moment and let me find out and come right back to you.
Well, yeah, it's finding those people, and especially when they're part-time freelancers, like how do you even start? So obviously you got to have experience, you got to have the knowledge, you got to have just like a past experience that you could rely on about their credibility, so you can bring them into the next game, right?
Right.
But sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say we're really lucky just because I have been doing this for so many years. And the fact that our company has so many events that we are very blessed to have people that work with us on a regular basis. So I went to check on an event yesterday that we were doing a pop-up in a mall for Victoria's Secret Next Model. And we had 16 people there working. And it was amazing. They were just running here, there. They were helping the client. They were helping the models. They were doing everything. And they all come over. Hi, Lonnie. Oh my God, this is so great. We love this. We love this. So it's almost like I've become part-time jobs for these people that they know that there's so much opportunity and value if they perform well with me, that they're going to keep getting booked more and more. And it becomes more of a part-time job than just, standing behind a booth saying, oh, I think I'm serving, I don't know, a wine, maybe. Unclear. You get these people to be so engaged and attached emotionally to your company that they feel like they're a part of the brand, whatever brand it is.
Amazing. And that's a big part of it, because there's a big difference from someone standing there that obviously has lack of information and someone who could really engage with people interacting at that experience, right? And so what is that big separation? Is it knowledge? Is it something you're born with? Is it something that you could learn? What defines that performance that makes or breaks it?
I think it's a combination. definitely need to have the personality and the drive and want to get out there and talk to people. You can't be shy. But if you're also not educated, you're not going to be confident about what you're talking about. So if you are not giving the brand ambassador the tools to be successful, and you're not role playing with them and doing different, interactive things, like I'll show up, I'll secret shop with my team all the time, and I'll show up and where is this made? Who is the owner? What year did it get started? And I think that they sometimes pick up on it. They're like, are you Bonnie? And they usually find me out. But I think that if you just give them you would just empower them and make them feel like they're part of the team and they're not just, coming in for 3 hours and then going home. Engage them and make them feel part of it, and they're going to be more excited.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about, listen, I like to talk about, not that we're complaining, but I think there's an aspect of elevation that we're doing. And we see stuff go wrong all day, every day when it comes to events, right? And I think being in it for so long, there's some key things that people are doing that they're missing. And they're just, it's like a slight change can really make or break that experience for that, for the group of people that are engaging with the brand. Is there anything that comes to top of mind, just talking about something that really kind of irks you, that's like, oh, I know you mentioned before, just when, dirt's on the floor, or if there's garbage in the invisible area, like those things can really, turn off a potential customer, right?
I think, based on the staffing aspect of it, I think just being a team player and never being too good for something, like there's times that I'm still going to events. I mean, after as many years I'm bussing tables if I see glassware, I'm reorganizing closets if I see that they're messy. I think that it's just that feeling of having like ownership and feeling involved makes you want to help that client so much more, and having the relationship with the client that you want to go that extra mile. You want to make sure that the water labels are all facing outwards. It's those little details that some people are just born with. Some people, they get there after doing enough events and seeing that the client is not there to do that. They're there to sell. They're there to, really interact and network. You're there to be their support for whatever it is that they need.
Well, the interesting thing is now I feel like we're living in this global space, and people are now putting their brands over borders, that they're trying to get into other new markets, whether it be the US, whether it be in the Middle East, doesn't matter where, like everyone's trying to go global if they aren't already. And in that takes people and resources like yourself to basically be on the ground and use tools and relationships that are already been built, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, this is such a short little, just exciting little snip of the big picture. And I really want to highlight a couple different things that you're doing with like these brand ambassadors. A lot of times people may not even understand what that even means. So do you mind defining that for our audience?
Sure. So brand ambassador is, like I said, an extension of your team. If you can't be there, if you need extra help, let's say you're running this company and you need to be at 30 trade shows, over the next few months, you need somebody maybe locally that can assist you with really anything on the ground, getting there before you, helping set up the booth, making sure that everything looks nice, folding the t-shirts, unpacking some boxes. So we could help with everything that you would need. And I think that having them as an extension, and maybe even having knowledge of specific markets, like let's say you are coming in from another country or overseas and you want to maybe take a client out for dinner, you want to, you need flowers at the booth, you need certain things at the booth, like we're able to help with all of that on a local level too. In addition to just having, a brand ambassador on site, we're able to be the team that can help you cultivate and plan everything, and even just show up and everything will just be there for you.
Yeah, well, that there's no doubt. There's plenty of brands coming into the market, going and looking for the right people. I think when it comes to the staffing, there's a lot of different components of where you can find the right people. And so how do you segment who they need? Is it like a security guy, or is it someone who's just going to be like giving out free samples? You got any segmentation that you look for?
Yes. So it's really important for me to speak to the client and understand what their goals are at that actual event. Are they looking for somebody to just stand there and take appointments in a book? Are they looking for somebody that could actually talk about the brand and engage with them? What do they need? Like, what are their how do they measure their success when the show is over? And then I kind of work backwards from there to figure out who's the right person. Is it me? Like, do I need to physically be there? Do they need one person? Do they need 5 people? Do they need boys? Do they need girls? What are they looking for? And I mean, I'm doing something right now for a comic book convention. I have very specific people that I'm going to put in there. I look for on my team, who is a gamer, who's going to connect with this audience and make sense. We're doing something for Swim Week coming up that we need fitness models. So I'm going to go and I'm going to find my girls that work out every day that are going to be able to talk to people about their body index. Like, you want people that are going to really be able to connect. And if I'm doing things that I feel like a male audience would appreciate, a female brand ambassador more, or vice versa, I just really try to dig in to see who's going to connect the most with the consumers and the guests.
I love this. I love this. You're so meticulous about it. It's absolutely just fascinating, because I think you need to be, when you're not only supporting clients, but also supporting brands and their impact to the end customer. Because I know we haven't even jumped in there yet, but because that relationship itself is different from, your qualification of who's going to actually do the role and who's going to staff the event, but actually what's going to happen with that end customer there as well. And that's a big piece. I just want to invite anyone listening, our community, jump on board. I love having Lonnie here. You get to ask your questions to this expert in her field, doing this in the US. And I love all the questions. So she's here to answer them for you. Listen, for companies that are investing in events, in expanding their brands, what are your top 3? Just leave us with 3 to really ensure that people represent brands that are not just visible, but actually creating these meaningful engagement and business opportunities. What do you got? Are you there?
Oh, sorry. It froze for a second.
Okay. So I just asked the 3 questions. What's the last 3 top ways that people and companies that are investing in events and expanding their brand need to prioritize to really not just be visible, but really actually make meaningful relationships for business results?
I think the most meaningful, there's 3 things that I would recommend. So I think to start is looking at like the full picture. Like, what's your goal? Because I do like to talk about like brand strategy. So I think that it's really important to talk about the strategy behind what your goals are, not just for this one show. Like, I'm going to want to talk to you and see, like, what are your goals for the next 12 months, 2 years, 5 years? Because I think that that's going to be really, really helpful. Because if you're telling me that your goal is just to, let's say you're a brand, to sell your company, I'm going to be like, okay, I have a specific strategy for you to do this. If you're telling me that you want to be in every large scale festival event, then like maybe we'll talk about Coachella and Stagecoach. Then if you're telling me that you really want to focus on only a health and wellness. So there's very, very, very different paths on how everybody wants to get to their goal. But first I want to have like a very deep strategy call. And then the thing that not everybody wants to talk about, I'm going to want to talk to you about your budget. I'm going to want to figure out what to do with this budget, how I want to divvy it up, what buckets I want to put it in, how I want to really stretch your dollars the most. If you're telling me that you have a really small budget, but then you're saying you want to do Coachella, I'm going to say that your goals are not aligned.
Or you're like, we could do guerrilla marketing. You could stand in the parking lot, like that's basically all you could do.
And I also want to get the most bang for people's buck. I don't want to put them in a space that it's going to fail. I want them to still shine where they are. So maybe they should just, do something a little bit smaller that makes more sense. Maybe that's something for year 2. Maybe that's something for year 5. So I really want to understand everybody's goals. That's going to be my first thing. And then I'm going to put together a strategy and present you with the strategy. And the strategy is going to include everything from what events you're doing, what your staff is wearing, how they're wearing their hair. It's like all these little things that you don't think matter. Are they all wearing glasses? Are they all, what are they doing? What are they saying to the clients? Are they in the street? Are they in a t-shirt? Are they handing stuff out? What are they handing out? So I will get really deep into all of that. And then it goes right to the execution. So those are really the 3 steps: the strategy, the planning, and the executing.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And without those three, I don't think your brand has a chance to engage with the right customers, right? Or anyone to even represent them effectively and really make some results. So I can't thank you enough, Lonnie. This is awesome insight. I love, love, love that you're here with me. And I'm even more that I'm exciting our new partnership with Biz Angels and Lonnie Page Consulting in Viva Miami. And this is amazing because it's just taking that staffing one step further to really get those sales results for KPIs that people are looking for when it comes to sales meetings, which is like the next step in that engagement for results. So I'm really excited, super exciting new year. 2026 is going to be a killer for us both. So yay, get excited. Biz Angels in the US, Lonnie Page Consulting, get in touch if you need to go through that strategy and you want your brand to really shine in the US market. So exciting news. Thank you so much for joining me today, Lonnie.
Thank you for having me. This was great. So much fun. Love sharing my knowledge.
Yay! Well, this show is sponsored by the Biz Angels. So that's what they do, represent your brand for sales results. And we're doing it now with Lonnie Page. So have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Hope you guys loved this show and got the results you need to plan your next event. And I'll see you next show.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. And it's